Your mind is your greatest asset. What you know, how you think, and the knowledge you accumulate over time will determine the quality of your life. Everything you want, success, wealth, confidence, influence, comes from education. Not the education you got in school, but the education you give yourself every single day. The people who rise to the top in any field, in any industry, in any aspect of life, are the ones who prioritize learning. They do not wait for someone else to teach them. They do not stop growing after they get a diploma. They take full responsibility for expanding their mind, sharpening their skills, and mastering new knowledge every single day. Most people never do this. They stop learning the moment they leave school. They believe that once they finish their education, their growth is complete. And because of that, they stay stuck. They become outdated. They let the world move forward while they remain the same. But the ones who win, they make learning a daily habit. They educate themselves every single day, not because they have to, but because they know it is the key to getting ahead. This is the difference between those who succeed and those who do not. It is not about talent. It is not about intelligence. It is about who is willing to keep learning when everyone else has stopped. It is about who is willing to push themselves to grow, even when no one is forcing them to. Knowledge is power, but only if you keep expanding it. And in a world that is constantly evolving, if you are not learning, you are falling behind. Imagine where you could be in a year if you committed to learning something new every single day. Imagine how much sharper your thinking would be, how much more valuable you would become, how much more confident you would feel. The people who dominate in life do not wait for knowledge to come to them. They seek it out relentlessly. They absorb new information. They refine their understanding. They look for ways to improve, to think better, to make smarter decisions. Education is not something you do once. It is a lifelong commitment. It is the foundation of success, the key to adaptability, the one thing that will separate you from the masses. And if you want to take control of your future, if you want to maximize your potential, if you want to rise above average, then you must make learning a daily priority. The question is, are you willing to commit to educating yourself every single day? Because if you are, your life will change in ways you never imagined. Educating yourself daily is not just about reading books or gathering information. It is about training your mind to seek knowledge, to question, to analyze, and to apply what you learn in real life. Most people consume information passively. They read something, they listen to something, but they never truly absorb it. And because of that, it never changes them. But winners, they do not just learn, they use what they learn. They turn knowledge into action. They take what they study and apply it immediately to their work, their mindset, their decisions. And that is why they grow faster than everyone else. The key to making education a daily habit is intentionality. Most people say they want to learn more, but they do not make time for it. They wait until they feel like it. They read randomly, without direction, without a plan. But if you want to see real results, you need a system. You need to schedule learning, just like you schedule everything else in your life. Whether it is 30 minutes in the morning, an hour before bed, or while you are on the move, learning must be non-negotiable. And it is not just about how much time you spend. It is about what you focus on. If you spend your time consuming useless entertainment, gossip, or opinions that do not add value to your life, you are not learning. You are distracting yourself. But if you spend your time studying strategies, improving your skills, learning from the best, expanding your understanding of the world, you are giving yourself an edge. Because the more you know, the better decisions you make. And the better your decisions, the faster you move forward. Winners do not let a single day go by without improving their mind. They read books that challenge them. They listen to ideas that push their thinking. They study the habits of the most successful people in history. They question their own beliefs and seek out new perspectives because they know that growth comes from discomfort. They do not just reinforce what they already know. They force themselves to learn things that stretch their mind, things that make them think in ways they never have before. And here is where most people fail. They do not think learning is urgent. They treat it like an optional activity, something they will do when they have time. But winners know that learning is the most urgent thing in their life. Because every day you do not learn, you fall behind. Every day you do not sharpen your mind, someone else is getting ahead of you. Knowledge is a competitive advantage. It is what separates those who stay average from those who rise to the top. And it is not just about books. Learning happens everywhere if you train yourself to see it. Every conversation, every challenge, every mistake is an opportunity to grow. Winners are obsessed with learning from everything. They do not just study theories. They study real life. They analyze why people succeed and why they fail. They pay attention to how leaders think, how top performers work, how the best in any field operate. They look for lessons in every experience because they know that life itself is the best teacher. But here is the difference between those who succeed and those who do not. Winners do not just collect knowledge, they apply it. Most people read something, nod their head, and move on. But winners take what they learn and immediately look for ways to use it. They do not just understand a concept. They test it. They implement it. They experiment with it. And because of that, their knowledge turns into real results. This is where most people fall short. They consume without execution. They gather knowledge, but never use it. And because of that, it never changes them. But the ones who educate themselves daily and apply what they learn, they transform faster than anyone else. They improve at a speed that others cannot match. They are always one step ahead because while everyone else is standing still, they are moving forward. So ask yourself, are you really learning every day? Or are you just consuming information without action? Are you really pushing yourself to grow? Or are you staying comfortable, reinforcing what you already know? Because real learning is not comfortable. Real learning is challenging. It forces you to see things differently. It forces you to confront what you do not know. It forces you to level up. And that is why most people avoid it. They do not want to feel uncomfortable. They do not want to question their old beliefs. They do not want to put in the effort. But winners? They crave the discomfort of learning. They know that the more they challenge themselves today, the easier success will come tomorrow. So for the next 6 months, commit to this. Educate yourself daily, not casually, not when you feel like it, not when it is convenient. Every single day, push yourself to learn something new. Push yourself to apply what you learn. Push yourself to develop the kind of mindset that separates the great from the average. Because if you do that, your future will not just be different. It will be unstoppable. Educating yourself daily is not just about accumulating knowledge. It is about becoming a sharper thinker. It is about training your mind to process information faster, to make better decisions, to see opportunities where others see obstacles, the ability to think critically, to analyze deeply, to question intelligently. This is what separates those who succeed from those who struggle. And the only way to develop that ability is to actively train your mind every single day. Most people do not think deeply. They consume surface-level information, accept it as truth, and move on. They do not question what they hear. They do not verify what they learn. They do not challenge their own beliefs. And because of that, they stay stuck. They are easily influenced. They are controlled by emotions instead of logic. They are reactive instead of strategic. But winners, they think differently. They analyze information before accepting it. They challenge their own biases. They train themselves to ask why and how, not just what. And this is where true power comes from. If you can think better than everyone else, you can outperform everyone else. If you can process information faster, you can make decisions with more confidence. If you can analyze situations more accurately, you can move forward while others hesitate. But to do this, you must train your brain like a muscle. You must push it beyond its limits. You must expose it to difficult concepts, force it to wrestle with complex ideas, make it work harder than it ever has before. The best thinkers do not avoid difficult topics. They embrace them. They study history, psychology, philosophy, strategy. They do not just learn what happened. They learn why it happened. They study how great leaders made decisions. They study how the most successful people in history approach challenges. They seek out knowledge that forces them to think in ways they never have before. This is why reading is one of the most powerful habits in the world. A book is not just words on a page. It is the mind of another person. When you read, you are downloading years of someone else's experience, wisdom, and strategy in a matter of hours. You are expanding your perspective. You are sharpening your thinking. And the people who read consistently, they outthink, outmaneuver, and outlearn everyone else. But here is where most people go wrong. They read passively. They skim pages without truly absorbing the ideas. They highlight quotes, but never apply them. They read just to say they read, instead of reading to grow. Winners do not read for entertainment. They read for transformation. They engage with the material. They take notes. They break down the key lessons and immediately look for ways to apply them. Because knowledge without application is useless. And it is not just books. The world is full of knowledge, if you know where to look. Every conversation is an opportunity to learn. Every failure is an opportunity to analyze. Every challenge is an opportunity to refine your thinking. Winners see the world as their classroom. They do not just rely on formal education. They educate themselves in real life. They study people. They study results. They study mistakes, especially their own. But here's the hard truth. Learning is uncomfortable. If you are doing it right, it should challenge you. It should force you to confront your own ignorance. It should push you to rethink things you once believed were true. And that is why most people avoid it. They do not want to feel uncertain. They do not want to struggle with complex ideas. They do not want to question themselves. But the ones who embrace this discomfort, they grow at a speed that others cannot comprehend. And this is why winners separate themselves. Because while most people are looking for confirmation, winners are looking for correction. Most people seek out information that reinforces what they already believe. They do not want to be challenged. They want to be right. But winners do not care about being right. They care about getting better. They seek out perspectives that contradict their own. They study ideas that force them to think harder. They look for gaps in their own knowledge and attack them relentlessly. This is why education is not just about collecting facts. It is about building mental toughness. When you train yourself to question everything, to analyze deeply, to always be learning, you become unshakable. You're no longer easily misled. You're no longer controlled by emotions. You're no longer stuck in the same patterns as everyone else. You develop the ability to adapt, to adjust, to evolve. And in a world that is constantly changing, that ability is priceless. So here's the challenge. For the next 6 months, do not just learn, think. Do not just gather information, analyze it. Do not just read, engage with what you read. Every day, push your mind to work harder than it did yesterday. Ask yourself, what did I learn today? How can I use this? How does this connect to what I already know? If you train yourself to do this, your thinking will become sharper than ever before. Because at the end of the day, the most valuable skill in the world is the ability to think better than everyone else. If you can process information faster, if you can make better decisions, if you can see things others cannot see, you will dominate in any field. You will move faster, solve problems more efficiently, and rise above those who never trained their minds to be strong. And this is not something you do once. This is not something you do just for 6 months. This is a lifetime commitment. Winners never stop sharpening their minds. They never stop questioning. They never stop learning. And that is why they stay ahead while everyone else falls behind. Educating yourself daily is not just about learning new things. It is about training your mind to operate at a higher level. It is about becoming someone who is constantly upgrading, constantly evolving, constantly expanding their capabilities. The more you learn, the more you refine your thinking. The sharper your thinking, the better your decisions. And the better your decisions, the faster you progress in life. Everything is connected. And that is why learning must be non-negotiable. Most people stay stuck because they do not expand their understanding. They assume they already know enough. They resist new information because it challenges their beliefs. They ignore opportunities to grow because they are comfortable where they are. But winners, they never let themselves stay the same. They constantly upgrade their knowledge, their skills, their perspectives. They make learning a way of life. And this is the biggest difference between those who stay average and those who rise to the top. Winners are relentless about growth. They do not wait for information to come to them. They seek it out. They do not rely on formal education. They take responsibility for educating themselves. They are obsessed with getting better, smarter, and more capable every single day. This is why how you learn matters just as much as what you learn. If you only consume easy information, you will never stretch your mind. If you only focus on subjects that are comfortable, you will never expand your thinking. Real learning happens when you push beyond your limits, when you study difficult material, when you force yourself to struggle through complex ideas, when you engage with knowledge that challenges you. And this is why most people fail. They only learn at a surface level. They read quickly, but they do not absorb. They watch, but they do not apply. They hear new ideas, but they do not question them. Winners go deeper. They take notes. They break down concepts. They reflect on what they have learned. They turn knowledge into understanding, and understanding into execution. Because at the end of the day, knowledge alone is not enough. You have to use it. You have to test what you learn in real life. You have to experiment, apply, refine, and improve. The people who rise in life are not the ones who know the most. They are the ones who use what they know to create real results. And this is why winners do not just study theory, they study execution. They do not just read about success. They analyze how successful people operate. They break down their strategies, their mindset, their work ethic. They look at what actually works, not just what sounds good in theory, and then they apply those lessons immediately. This is where most people fail. They spend too much time consuming and not enough time doing. They think learning is about knowing, but real learning is about doing. You do not truly understand something until you have tested it, refined it, and experienced it firsthand. And that is why the fastest way to learn is not just to consume information. It is to put yourself in situations where you are forced to apply it. If you want to master a skill, practice it every day. If you want to improve your thinking, engage in challenging discussions. If you want to build confidence, take action despite fear. Real learning happens when you step into the arena, not when you sit on the sidelines. And this is what separates those who succeed from those who stay the same. Winners do not wait until they feel ready to apply what they learn. They start now. They take action before they have all the answers. They experiment, fail, adjust, and improve. And because they are constantly testing what they learn, they grow at a speed that most people cannot match. This is why education must be an active process. Passive learning, just reading, just watching, just listening, is not enough. You must engage. You must question. You must experiment. You must apply. Because real learning happens when you take what you know and use it to create change. And here is the truth. The world belongs to those who learn the fastest. The people who adapt, who adjust, who pick up new skills and new strategies faster than everyone else. They are the ones who dominate. They are the ones who stay ahead. They are the ones who turn knowledge into power. So ask yourself, are you truly learning every day? Or are you just going through the motions? Are you pushing yourself to absorb, to think, to apply? Or are you stuck in the cycle of passive consumption, gathering information but never using it? Because if you are not actively testing what you learn, you are not really learning. And this is what makes the difference between success and stagnation. Winners do not wait. They do not hesitate. They do not collect knowledge for the sake of it. They use what they know. They take action. They execute. And because they do this every single day, they build momentum that others can only dream of. So from this moment forward, commit to active learning. Commit to applying what you know. Commit to testing everything so that your knowledge turns into real results. Because the people who win in life are not the ones who know the most. They are the ones who use what they know the best. Educating yourself daily is not just about personal growth. It is about creating unfair advantages. The more you learn, the more you see opportunities that others miss. The more you educate yourself, the more valuable you become. And in a world where most people are waiting to be told what to do, the ones who take control of their own learning will always be the ones who rise to the top. Knowledge is leverage. It allows you to do in months what takes others years. It helps you solve problems that keep others stuck. It makes you more adaptable, more creative, more powerful. The reason winners win is not just because they work harder. It is because they know more. They have more strategies. They have more tools. They have more insights. And that is why they move faster than everyone else. Most people do not realize how much they are limiting themselves by not learning daily. They wake up, do the same things they did yesterday, and expect new results. They rely on the knowledge they picked up years ago without ever updating it. They operate with the same level of thinking, the same level of awareness, the same limited understanding, while the world moves forward without them. But the ones who educate themselves daily, they evolve faster than everyone else. They upgrade their mindset. They refine their skills. They outthink, outlearn, and outperform the competition. Because while everyone else is waiting for knowledge to come to them, they are actively seeking it out. This is why learning must be intentional. You cannot rely on random information. You must curate your education. You must decide what knowledge is most valuable to you, what skills will give you the biggest advantage, what insights will help you move forward the fastest. Winners do not just learn randomly, they learn strategically. They focus on knowledge that gives them an edge. And this is where most people fail. They consume whatever is in front of them. They let the world dictate what they focus on. They fill their minds with entertainment, distractions, useless noise, things that do not help them move forward. But winners are ruthless about what they allow into their minds. They do not waste time on knowledge that does not serve them. They filter out the distractions. They focus only on what makes them stronger, sharper, more effective. This is why you must take control of your education. You must decide right now that learning will not be an accident. It will be a strategy. You will not leave it to chance. You will not rely on what comes your way. You will actively seek out the information, the skills, the insights that will take you to the next level. This means creating a learning system. It means setting aside time every day to study, to analyze, to reflect. It means choosing quality over quantity, focusing on depth, not just surface-level knowledge. It means taking notes, breaking down key lessons, and turning what you learn into action. And it means surrounding yourself with the right influences, because the people you listen to, the books you read, the conversations you have, they shape how you think. If you are constantly surrounded by small thinking, you will think small. If you're constantly exposed to negativity, you will adopt negative beliefs. But if you immerse yourself in powerful ideas, if you learn from high-level thinkers, if you train your mind with the best knowledge available, you will rise to their level. And this is the key. Learning is not just about acquiring information. It is about reshaping how you think. Every new insight, every new perspective, every new strategy adds another layer to your intelligence, your awareness, your ability to operate at a higher level. And that is why learning daily is non-negotiable. Because the world is changing faster than ever. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. The strategies that made people successful 10 years ago may be irrelevant today. And if you are not learning, you are becoming outdated. If you're not upgrading your knowledge, you are falling behind. But if you commit to educating yourself daily, you become unbeatable. You become someone who is always ahead, always evolving, always ready for whatever comes next. And that is why the people who win in life are obsessed with learning. They do not see it as an obligation. They see it as their greatest advantage. So here's the challenge. Do not just commit to learning. Design your education. Build a system. Choose your sources carefully. Set goals for what you want to master. Track your progress. Test what you learn. Make it a deliberate part of your day. Because the people who learn with intention, they do not just succeed, they dominate. Educating yourself daily is not just about gaining knowledge. It is about becoming the kind of person who never stops improving. It is about developing a mindset where growth is not an event, but a way of life. The people who rise to the top, the ones who create extraordinary success, are not necessarily the most talented or the most gifted. They are the ones who never stop learning. They are the ones who push themselves to improve, even when they are already ahead. They are the ones who refuse to stay the same. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. The moment you stop growing, you start declining. There is no standing still. There is no maintaining. You are either getting better or you're getting left behind. And that is why the most successful people in the world, no matter how much they have already achieved, are always looking for ways to get even better. This is why you must develop intellectual discipline. Learning is not always easy. It requires effort. It requires patience. It requires the ability to sit with complex ideas, to wrestle with difficult concepts, to push through frustration until understanding is achieved. Most people avoid this level of effort. They prefer quick answers, instant gratification, easy solutions. But winners understand that real knowledge takes time. Real mastery requires depth. And that is why they're willing to put in the work. But here's the truth. It is not just about effort. It is about consistency. If you learn for a few days, then stop. You will not see real progress. If you read a book once in a while but do not retain or apply the knowledge, it will not change you. The key is daily repetition. The key is to make learning a habit, something you do automatically without question, just like brushing your teeth or eating your meals. And this is where most people fail. They treat learning as something extra, something they do when they have time, when they feel like it, when it is convenient. But winners treat learning as essential. They structure it into their daily routine. They do not rely on motivation. They do not wait for the perfect time. They commit to it no matter what. So how do you build this habit? How do you make learning a permanent part of your life? You start by creating non-negotiable learning time. You set a specific block of time every day, whether it is 30 minutes in the morning, an hour at night, or small sessions throughout the day, and you never miss it. You make it just as important as your work, your training, your commitments, because in reality, it is more important than all of them. Then, you build systems of retention and application. Learning is not just about exposure to information. It is about internalizing it. Winners do not just read or listen. They reflect. They take notes. They summarize key lessons. They review what they have learned regularly. They train themselves to recall important ideas, to connect them to real-life situations, to make the information theirs. And most importantly, they apply what they learn, because knowledge without action is worthless. Winners take immediate steps to integrate new ideas into their life. They do not just study concepts, they test them. They do not just read strategies, they implement them. They do not just understand success, they live it. And this is the ultimate key to transformation. Use what you learn. Make learning a tool, not just an activity. Make knowledge something that serves you, something that moves you forward, something that directly impacts the way you operate. Because when you start using what you learn, that is when it becomes real power. Most people spend their lives consuming information, but never doing anything with it. They gather knowledge, but they never let it change them. They collect insights, but they never act on them. And because of that, they stay exactly where they are. But the ones who apply what they learn, they improve every single day. They grow faster than everyone else. They gain momentum that is impossible to stop. And this is why education must become your greatest weapon. It must be something you wield with intention, something you use to cut through problems, to find solutions, to build an advantage over the competition. The world rewards those who know how to think, those who can adapt, those who can take knowledge and turn it into results. So from this moment forward, do not just be someone who learns, be someone who masters. Be someone who does not just gather information, but wields it. Be someone who uses knowledge to dominate, to excel, to rise above everyone else. Because in the end, the people who keep learning, keep growing, and keep applying what they know, they are the ones who always win. You now understand the power of educating yourself daily. You know that learning is not just about gathering information. It is about sharpening your thinking, refining your skills, and making yourself more valuable every single day. The people who win in life are not the ones who wait for opportunities to come to them. They are the ones who prepare themselves so that when opportunities arrive, they are ready. Most people will never do this. They will stay stuck in old patterns, relying on outdated knowledge, hoping that life will change while they stay the same. But not you. You have made the decision to commit to growth, to commit to learning, to commit to becoming unstoppable. And that decision alone already separates you from the majority. But now comes the real test. Will you follow through? Will you truly commit to making education a daily habit? Will you hold yourself accountable to learning, thinking, applying, and evolving every single day? Because knowledge without action is wasted potential, and potential that is never used becomes regret. So do not just learn, use what you learn. Do not just read, internalize, test, and implement. Do not just listen, question, analyze, and refine. Every single day, push yourself to absorb new knowledge, to challenge your thinking, to sharpen your mind. Because the ones who do that consistently, they are the ones who rise. They are the ones who achieve more in months than most people do in years. They are the ones who create lives that others can only dream of. And now that path is yours. The only question left is, will you take it?